LD, aka the independent variable.
Trap good, I was serving out the hallway.
Student Union Study Hall, episode 6. It's our favorite time of the year. The big dance starts tomorrow, first round games. I'm excited. I'm here with Austin Brown and Luke Myers as always. I know you guys are pumped. Let's get right into it. Who are you guys have as your final four? We'll start with Austin.
Yeah, I got kind of went pretty safe bets here. I got Villanova coming out of the East. I got Louisville coming out of the Midwest, North Carolina coming out of the South, and Arizona coming out of the West. Feel pretty confident about all of them. Obviously picked all 1s and 2 seeds, so nothing too flashy. My goal is to get 2 of them right. I'm not as sold on some teams, namely Kansas and Duke, in the tournament as a lot of people. But, yeah, so I think those 4 are pretty safe bets in my eyes.
Who do you have winning it from that?
I got North Carolina over Arizona in the finals.
Solid. Luke, what do you got?
I have, coming out of the Midwest, I got Kansas pretty much just running right through that bracket without a problem. I know Austin thinks Purdue could take them down, but I think Kansas handles business there. And then North Carolina out of the South. Out of the West, I'll take Arizona as well, but like a Pac-12 team hasn't made the Final Four in like 10 years now, so I don't know.
They're due.
Defying the odds, I guess. And then out of the East, it was a tough call, but I went with defending champions Nova. And then I was really tempted to put Duke over Villanova in this one. Just because the bracket, I think, is so weak. Not a jab at you, Austin. Baylor's in there. But I don't think it's that good of a bracket. And then I'll take North Carolina, Nova finals, and North Carolina gets it done this year.
All right. Mine's pretty different too. A little surprising. I've got Duke in there. I think they'll ride off that momentum from the ACC tournament. They're just on a tear as of late. Gonzaga, just because I really want to see them prove the haters wrong. Kansas, like Luke said, very easy road to the Final Four, I think. Then kind of surprising, I have Kentucky as well. I think they might pull it out over UNC in the finals of that region. But to close it out, I have Duke beating Kentucky 81-77, which is crazy considering I've been back and forth on Duke being back all year. But when they're back, they're back. So I'm feeling it. Moving on, we have 5 12 seed upsets. 5 12 seed is notorious spot for producing upsets. Couple interesting ones this season and this year. Who do you guys think has the best chance of pulling an upset from the 12 seed?
Well, I mean, sorry.
I know, you're good.
Looking at all the matchups this year, they're all like they could go either way. I mean, I think the easiest one is Iowa State, Nevada, but still, Nevada had a game this year where they were down by 14 with a minute left and ended up winning in overtime. So obviously they can put up points at will, but I'll take Princeton over Notre Dame in the upset. Yale beat Baylor last year in this matchup in the same part of the bracket, and I don't know. The Ivy League always fares pretty well in the tournament. Harvard a couple years ago in the last couple years has made some runs, but Princeton went 14-0 this year in their own conference, and they beat a decent Yale and Harvard team. So I'll take Princeton over Notre Dame.
I like that. Austin?
So I think the obvious choice is Middle Tennessee over Minnesota. I mean, I looked, the Vegas line has Minnesota favored by 1.5. So basically they're saying that's a toss-up. Yeah. But I am going to take Nevada over Iowa State. Nevada's got all the pieces they need. They got Marcus Marshall in the backcourt, who I think can hang with anybody Iowa State has. And Monte Morris is really good, but I honestly think Cameron Oliver for Nevada is going to be the best player on the floor. outside of Naslong, Iowa State doesn't really have anybody who can bang with him down low. And so I think he's going to have a field day, and especially if he can get Naslong in foul trouble, they're going to give him problems. And so I got Iowa State dropping in the first round.
Okay, I like that. I agree with you also on Middle Tennessee that's probably an easy one for them. But as Vegas sees it, is that really even an upset? So I'm going to take the remaining game and go with UNC Wilmington over Virginia. They just won the Colonial Athletic Tournament, if that means anything. But they've been shooting lights out, and I got a feeling about them. I got a feeling about this one. So go Seahawks. Moving on. This is kind of similar, but the team you do not want to see in the tournament, a team you do not want to play. Who wants to start with this one?
So what are we doing for this? Are we doing like a certain seed or below?
No, I was just like based on a team that's hot, or like NC State, if they would have gotten in, they're always good in the tournament, something like that.
All right.
Yeah.
Team I don't want to face, and unfortunately it is the team that my school will be facing in the second round. I do not want to face right now. They're incredibly hot. They blew through their conference, which is actually a decent conference. I mean, UConn won the national championship out of that conference 3 years ago. I just think that their guard plays too good. I hate to say it, but I think they're going to get past Baylor. And I also have them beating Duke, mainly because I would love to see Semi Ojeleye for SMU, who, for those of you who don't know, was a kid. He's from Kansas, originally went to Duke, rode the bench, and then transferred to SMU, and he's just been lighting it up this year. And so if he could come in and just take out Duke, I think that'd be incredible. I also think one mistake a lot of people make is they'll pick a team that just got hot in their conference tournament, and historically there's not a ton of correlation between conference tournament and NCAA tournament performance. So I got SMU, but I also got to give a shout out to Wichita State. You never want to play Greg Marshall in March, so their shockers are definitely dangerous too.
Yep. Luke?
If UConn was in this field, I would take UConn any year because they're just magic in March. But I'll take Duke. Duke, I do not want to play them right now. They're in an easy bracket. I mean, Baylor can be a tough one. SMU can be a tough game, but it's not like, I don't know, you're not playing a 3-seeded UCLA or anything like that along the road. And they're just clicking at the right time right now, all their pieces. Jason Tatum's been playing just unreal as of late, so I'll take the Blue Devils. I'll take them deep in this tournament this year.
Wow. I kind of agree with, or Austin mentioned it at the end of his part, but Wichita State, you got to like the Shockers. Considering they're 6-point favorites in the 10-seed spot against Dayton, I'd say that's a good sign to start out with. They're also, I took a look at their stats, they have a 30-4 record, and they haven't lost a game since January. So that's just stats you don't want to mess with. That's a streak you don't necessarily want to see if you're in the tournament, no matter what seed you're at. But, yeah, so Wichita State, look out for the Shockers. Moving on to our favorite topic. I already mentioned it earlier, but is Duke back? You guys know what I think. Let's start with Luke this time.
He has to say it.
What was that, Austin?
You have to say it now.
Yeah, you can't.
There's no way.
They're not back.
There's no way you can make the defense that they're not back. You just told me that you think they're going to the Elite Eight.
Yeah, they're back.
Yes.
You said it.
Finally. It took us 6 short weeks, but we brought him around to the light. So, Luke, welcome to the club. Glad you finally realized that Duke is back, but I'm going to let you revel in it for a second. Tell me why Duke is back, Luke.
Well, okay, I'll say this. Duke is back, but I'm saying all this good stuff about him right now, and they're going to turn around and drop a big freaking egg in the tournament. But, I don't know. Okay, Duke's back right now. They're, like I mentioned, they're just clicking on all cylinders right now. Everybody's playing well. They've took down some pretty big teams in the conference tournament. North Carolina, Louisville was a big game. And they had to win 4 games in 4 days, was it? So that kind of proves how strong they are. And I don't know. I just think they're a pretty dangerous team in this tournament this year. And another thing, Grayson Allen's been keeping his temper in check in the last couple of games now. He got a technical in what game was that? The Louisville game, maybe.
That was such a
That was a
bogus
weak technical. That was, if
He
you would have
dripped
like
That was throwing the elbow, wasn't it?
No, it was he bounced the ball on the ground. And
the announcers were saying if he would have caught it, it wouldn't have been a technical, and they were right. But I think if Allen can keep his emotions in check and Kennard and Tatum keep laying it up, they're going to win the national title this year.
Well, you heard it here for the first time from Luke. He thinks Duke's back. Austin, I guess we know what we all think on Duke being back.
Duke's been back. We saw this coming. I mean, they finally pulled it all together. The best coaches, it's down to an art form. You got to get your team to peak at the right time. Nobody's better at that than Coach K, except maybe Tom Izzo. But you got to get your team hot when it matters, and that's exactly what he did. You don't win national championships in December. You win them in March. So they're fired up and ready to go. Duke is still back 6 weeks later.
Yep. And speaking of Grayson Allen, a little bonus question to throw in here with the Is Duke Back segment. How many flagrant fouls do we think Grayson Allen's committing over the course of this tournament? Because part of me thinks he might be on his best behavior, but part of me also knows that he's Grayson Allen. So I'm interested to see how he'll be behaving in the tournament. Austin, you want to start with this?
I don't think he's going to get a flagrant foul. I kind of think that Grayson Allen has the mentality like a lot of hockey players do, how it's just an unwritten rule in hockey that you don't fight in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He's going to keep his temper under control because the lights have never been brighter on him. And I don't know if he's planning on coming out this year and trying to go to the draft or not. But if he wants to put to bed the whole he's a child rumor, you can't come out and get teed up or trip someone or do something stupid like that in the tournament. So I think he's going to be on his best behavior. If he does get one, there's no way he gets more than one. If he does get one, then it's going to be a disaster. But there's no way he gets more than one. But I'm going 0.
Luke, what do you think?
I'll say he'll get one. I mean, it's pretty easy to get an accidental flagrant foul anyways, like especially with players are throwing elbows all the time. Let's say it clips a defending team in the face or something like that. That's a flagrant foul, but I'll put it at 1, and it won't be on purpose. He's not out here throwing punches, so
it's a good guy.
Great guy. But I agree with you. I think probably 1, and I think he'll come out there trying to be on his best behavior, trying to not blow his temper. But while he wants to do that, I don't think he's capable of doing that. Like, because at the end of the day, he is a child who just wants to win and do whatever it takes to win. And if that means screaming and yelling and committing flagrants, that's what he's going to do. So that's what I kind of respect about Grayson Allen. And I'm excited to see how childish he could possibly be in this tournament. Moving on to our final topic, our locks of the week. I'm 4-0. I took a little hiatus last week, didn't give a pick, but still 4-0. Austin, you're sitting at 4-1, maybe?
Yeah, lost the first week, but on a 4-game hot streak.
Right there with me. And Luke?
I got that dub last week, 2-3.
Hey-ho.
Getting off the snide.
I like it. I guess we'll start with you then, Luke, since we'll go least promising record to most promising record.
How about we do hottest record?
Okay, hottest. Last week's winner, Luke.
I'll take Northwestern plus 2.5 against Vanderbilt for a couple of reasons. First off, first time Northwestern's ever been to the tournament. I think Chris Collins should be National Coach of the Year. I love what they have been able to do in the last couple of years. They're one hell of a good team right now. I mean, they blew out Iowa by 30 earlier this year, and I know people are like, oh, congratulations, Iowa's in the NIT, but that's still a pretty impressive win. And then Vanderbilt should not be in this goddamn tournament. Vanderbilt is 19-15 in the SEC. They're only living on 3 Florida wins this year, and I'm just pissed that they made the field at all because there were certainly better teams. Put in Syracuse from the ACC, Illinois State got absolutely hosed, if you ask me, but Vanderbilt shouldn't be in the field, so I'm going with Northwestern. Hopefully they win by at least 10.
Okay, I like that. Austin?
Like you said, I'm on a 4-game hot streak, so I'm kind of feeling myself right now. I predicted them to win straight up, but I got Nevada plus 6.5. Nevada is the second best team in the country against the spread, behind only Middle Tennessee. The only reason I didn't pick Middle Tennessee is just because they're only plus 1.5. So that's not as much of a value. But like I said, I love Cameron Oliver. I love Marcus Marshall. I think Nevada probably wins this game. If not, it's going to come down to the wire, and I think they'll cover within 6.5 points. Liam, what you got?
I like that too. I have UNC Wilmington plus 7, my pick from the 5-12 seed upset. I really like them plus 7. I don't know if they'll actually win that game, but Coach Kevin Keith's great coach. Will definitely make sure they stay in the game. And with my 4-0 blessing, I think that's got to add something to the cover factor. So
also, it's Virginia, so there's only going to be about 30 points scored in the whole game. So they're probably
a very low scoring game. But yeah, exactly. That's all we got for Student Union Study Hall episode 6. Excited to see the games tomorrow. We'll get back to you. Take it easy.
Bears.